Hey everybody, what's good? It's DREAMR. So today I'm going to show you how I co-produced 2XTREME by Homixide Gang. Let's get into it. Alright, so for those of you who've been watching for a minute, you'll know that I dropped a vlog around February or March where I was cooking up at the Internet Money Studio, and I actually happened to make this sample using 2XTREME. The song came about with Vendor and Tune. They hit me up saying, yo, we got a session with Homixide. We need like all your guitar samples. So I sent basically my entire hard drive's worth, and they happened to pick this one. So I'm going to go through, show you the chain, show you the parts I played, and then we'll break down the sample. Alright, so this sample was originally in C minor, and then when Vendor and Tune got their hands on it, they pitched it up one, which just makes sense. It's just C sharp minor is a very popular key. I always start my samples with the sub because I feel like that's what the 808 is going to follow, and it's like the most important part really for guiding a whole beat. So I ended up going with this St. Gabriel sub. It sounds really good. It's kind of like an evil, sinister sound. I'll play that for you now. Alright, so after the sub, we have a pad. Now that's from Omnisphere, it's from Aberrations Bank's ISO. I really love the pads in all the Aberration Banks. They're just super good for like more ambient leaning stuff. And on that pad, I just have a shimmer as well. It is from EFX Fragments. I've showed this before. Just a really clean shimmer. I kind of like it for certain scenarios a little bit more than Valhalla's, but it's really like a taste thing. So now that we sort of have a foundation with the pad and the sub, the heavy guitars is what really brings us all together, of course. So I pretty much just follow the chords, do like simple power chords for this. It goes A to C sharp. Sounds really heavy. I'll play the part for you now. Okay, so now that we have the foundation down like really well, I always like to add a memorable lead part. I think for this song, there's two of them. It's the lead that plays in the intro and this art that goes throughout the song. As the sample progresses, I always like to add more parts and interchange the leads. So with that main art going on, I have another lead that comes in. I'll play that for you now. So after that main section is done, I always like to switch it up again. So I have a new lead that comes in, and this is the one that you hear in the intro. And for this bridge section, I've got two leads going. It's kind of like a call and response thing. I actually took away the chords to build up anticipation, so when they come back in the chorus, it really hits hard. Now, so in terms of the chain for the amps I have on this, I'm using Archetype Tim Henson. If I'm using Fender guitars, which I noticed I was recording with for this sample, I really like to go with like the Archetype suite of amps rather than something like STL Tone Hub that's more like of a super metal tone. I kind of want to go for something more driven when I'm using a Fender guitar. So I have this, the gate is up semi-high just because Fenders tend to be a little bit noisier. And then after that, I have some pretty heavy compression because I want those transients to kind of really punch and cut through. So I'll play that for you now. You can see it's working pretty hard. If I turn it off, it just doesn't really hit the same. You can definitely tell in the lower parts of that arpeggio that the notes really come through once it's super compressed. And then after that, I've got an EQ. Just cleaning up a little bit of those low mids, not doing too much, cutting a little bit of the highs. Like this frequency especially, it sounds cool in like intros and stuff, but it's a little bit too muddy for my taste just to leave it all the way through. And then after that, I just have a noise gate. It's probably my favorite one is Bruce Free. Pretty much cuts out anything you don't want. And the pickups are a little bit noisy on that guitar, so it wasn't too bad. So I just have this on very lightly. Yeah, and I have a little bit of delay. Baby Come Back. It's honestly a great free delay if you just want a good ping pong delay. And then after the ping pong delay, I have Valhalla Vintage Verb. I actually don't use this one that much, but I found on this, it did sound really good. In terms of the color preset, usually I'll go with the 80s one, but I did like the newer one for this. All right, guys, that's how I co-produced 2XTREME by Homixide Gang. I think this song really illustrates the importance of just in-person sessions and networking face-to-face in general. This song wouldn't have happened if I wasn't in the room a lot, and that's just one of those things where if you show up, things might happen in your favor just by putting some effort in. I know as producers, we like to sit on our laptops all the time and kind of cook up alone, but again, it's really important to put yourself out there and just see what happens. Again, shout out to Vendor and Tomb, song wouldn't have happened without them. And as always, if you guys want a kit, make sure to go to dreamerprod.com. Really appreciate the support. See you all in the next one. Peace.